Hello.
Hello. Welcome. It is Wednesday, August the 15th at 9:50 p.m. The current temperature is 26 degrees Celsius. It has been a high of 30 degrees Celsius and a low of 23.
Indeed. Yep. We woke up. Fahrenheit. Current is 79 with a high of 87 and a low of 73. Our morning started pretty late today. We slept in until 7:30.
Yep.
And groggily.
I heard of the dogs barking for Vincente, and we had to give him new boots, a new machete, a new lima, and his bottle of water.
I just bought a machete at the, local hardware store.
Yep, took it on the boat with us.
I was like, listen, I need a machete. About yay long. Real sharp.
Well, they come pretty dull, actually, so don't worry. It's a machete, but he's going to teach us how to file our own machetes for when we go for jungle walks. So new boots, too, because the rain boots, he uses them every day, so they get through a lot of use. So we woke up really early, that's what we were saying.
Yep.
I mean late. Really late.
Really late.
We woke up really late.
That's true.
And we only had time for first breakfast before we had to run down to the dock.
Yep, we saw that Cam's boat was going to pick us up to go somewhere. And as Sam was taking care of some business up at the house, in the middle of coming from Mother Jones, Lori's boat, over to our dock, his motor quit. And so I just kind of chilled there, was hanging out at the end of the dock, just watching what was going on. And sure enough, Lori was like, "Hey, you got the keys to Cricket?" And I was like, "What do you want me to do about it?" And so I came over and towed her boat. And
we talked about towing.
Yeah. So I went out, and it was funny because as soon as his engine cut out, someone else on a different sailboat kind of stuck his head out and was like, "Hey,
bamboo.
Yep, just heard your boat cut out. What's going on? Blah, blah, blah. Why don't you tow it to me?" And so I came out with Cricket, with our boat, towed to another sailboat who had a guy that we're hanging out with, and then Lori from a different sailboat, and somehow our whole neighborhood came together to help Cameron. And
so the boats weren't very far apart from each other. So we didn't have to, everyone was in shouting distance.
Yep.
Basically.
Yep. That's kind of how it worked. So, yeah, we tied it up, got it all good to go, and Daryl took a look at it. He's like, "Oh, yeah, I'll just check out the spark plugs, no big deal," and blah, 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 you go do your thing.
So then everyone was paddled into our boat.
Which, I don't know if you remember us talking earlier about how everyone's got a nicer boat than us, la, la, la.
Look at our boat.
But Cricket's the one showing up lately.
Yeah.
We had some trouble with Cricket. Just kind of, it wasn't planing on the water, which is where, because of the surface tension of the water, you start going like this. Here's the water and here's the boat. And then you eventually get to a speed where it just kind of sits on top of the water and rides on the water instead of just pushing it out of the way, because obviously this will take a lot more energy than coasting on the water. So you figure out your boat's finesse on how to plane. And Cricket wasn't doing that very well, and we found out that it's because the bilge pump wasn't working out in the back. There's usually an automatic bilge pump, which is the pump that takes the water outside of the boat and puts it out back into the bay, into the ocean. And so we had to manually do that, but with that weight taken out, then we were able to plane. And I think Cricket is just feeling much better.
Yeah, and able to take on however many people need to get around. So that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
And so after we got everyone in the boat, we went on our mission to meet my new favorite animal. My favorite animal that I didn't even know was my favorite animal until today. It is the coolest animal I have ever seen in my life. And it's a kinkajou. Am I saying it right?
Yeah.
Kinkajou.
Kinkajou.
Oh my gosh.
That's right.
It's like a mix between a bear and a cat with a really long tail, like a monkey, but hands like a child's hands and feet, because they grip, and he can run around and just open a cupboard and hide inside, and he's soft, and oh my god, I'm in love with this animal, and I'm just in love with it.
Yep, we went over to the house of someone who we're helping out with some physical therapy stuff, and he has a pet kinkajou. Apparently it was... Who had it originally?
He's like the fourth owner of it.
Yeah, something like a baby kinkajou was left, and so someone rescued it. No, I don't think it was caught in the wild, hopefully.
Yeah.
But yeah, he was one of the many owners, and
all the other owners have left him like in a cage all the time, and this is the first owner that has let him just like run around, and he has to like have an extra safety on his fridge, or else the kinkajou will just like crack it open the fridge and not close it, and then so that's why he's not allowed in.
Yeah, so it's hysterical. But yeah, this little guy is nocturnal, so he was a little bit upset when we came to wake him up, but he sleepily poked poked her little head out of the cupboard, and kind of waddled over for some pats, and it was just adorable. It like wrapped around.
You took photos, right? We took some photos, so we'll show those photos.
Yeah. Yep. Kinkajou. It was pretty sweet.
You want to talk about island time?
Oh, I mean, yeah. I talk kind of... Well, okay. So the whole idea of island time kind of exists because you never know when a boat's going to break down or something. So we got a pretty late start this morning because Cameron's boat broke down and everything. And it's funny because we got there and the guy that we were meeting, he's like, "Oh, you guys showed up a little early, I think." And Sam's like, "No, I think we're late. Later than we were supposed to be." But anyway, it's just funny because, like, yeah, sense of time doesn't really exist.
Nobody wears a watch. Like, you can be around like 10 people and no one has a watch.
Yep, exactly.
Yep.
And we kind of talked to some people, and there are others out there too that agree that one social engagement a day is more than enough.
Because it takes you like half an hour in your boat. It's not just driving in a car. Like, a boat takes more work, and then you get there, and then you usually stay a lot longer because you don't have a watch, so there's no reason to leave, and then finally the sun's starting to set, and you realize you gotta get out of there.
It's true, yeah.
Oh, something funny that happened this morning. I was washing the dishes, and Jenn was really, like, being nice and getting all the rogue dishes, the rogue glasses, and then all of a sudden, like, I'm like, oh, this container, and I open it up, and there's a scorpion inside! Because a couple days ago, I trapped and captured a scorpion, and I'd left it in this container, and then she forgot and just threw, like, the container in the sink, and so I was like, oh my god, it's another scorpion!
And I was like, man, I wish I thought to do that on purpose. Yeah. That would have been hysterical.
Yeah, so it wasn't with any kind of malice. Yeah, but also
fine. Laughed.
Yeah, it was a good way to, like, jolt myself awake for the morning. Like, whoa, scorpion in the sink. Because I had taken a lizard out of the sink already. Yep. And yeah, we saved a bunch of animals this morning. Lizards, bugs, shooed them all outside.
We're like, something we can put on our jungle resume. Saving lives.
Saving lives.
Of bugs.
Yeah. Not mosquitoes.
But not mosquitoes, that's right. So.
And we wanted to talk to you a little bit about the sailboat yesterday. It was absolutely amazing. I got to drive a little bit, which was so cool. I was sitting there, and Gail and Jenn were downstairs. I think Jenn was playing on an electric guitar.
Was indeed.
And Jenn was making some dinner. Gail, sorry. And then Daryl.
Just kidding, I do.
You do now. And so Daryl was driving, and then he had to go do something, and he's like, well, someone's going to have to take over driving. And I was just, like, looking around. I'm like, can I like, drive the boat? And there I was behind this big wheel of a sailboat, having to, like, look out at the horizon and my compass and, like, the chart that was, like, a GPS and some other instruments. And, like, you have to look at all these instruments at the same time. So at first and the rudder doesn't show right now because one of their, like, rudder things is not working, so you have to, like, turn the wheel and then, like, hope that you turned it the right amount, and then look at, like, all the 4 different instruments, and then, like, look at your mark. And it was a little bit difficult at first, but I felt like I got the hang of it, and, like, the whole world disappeared while I was, like, there driving, and it was really cool. And I was like, I think I could do this. I think I could drive a sailboat.
Nice. Yeah. Yeah, they have a big one, too. They have a 53-footer.
2 bedrooms and a first mate's bunk.
And they have a walk-in engine room, which is very uncommon for the type of boat that they're on. A mono hull. 2 masts, I think. So it's a big mamma jamma cruising around. Runs on diesel. Let's see, the refrigerator is powered by propane tank, but everything else is...
No, are there fridge?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep. It's run off a propane tank. They said that it lasts for like 3 months.
Oh, okay.
Cool. Yep. And yeah, it's just a really, really beautiful boat. And they've made it all homey and all sorts of things. So
yeah, it's really nice to be in there. It felt really, really big. We've been in a few sailboats now, and it just felt really huge. Being able to walk around so freely, having so many spaces to go, and yeah, it's just such a cool feeling to be on a sailboat. I can't really think of anything that's quite like it.
So it was really good. Yeah. All right.
Well, guess that's it for now.
Yep. That'll wrap up our vlog for tonight. And until tomorrow,
Jungle love.